So that brings us to the topic of shame, which we can actually focus in on. Shame is a tremendous barrier to therapy. And the truth is, there is nothing to be ashamed of. And I'm going to say that again. The truth is, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all imperfect beings, limping our way through life. And we can do that, with self-condemnation and judgment and, lock ourselves in a room and never go out or do anything. Or we can embrace our imperfections and laugh and play with them and recognize that whatever we did when we were young or in the past, especially if it's a source of shame, we didn't do it on purpose. We did the best we could at the time we did it. And again, life is an imperfect science. And so coming to terms with shame and releasing our shame is key to being able to see ourselves as we are. Because if there's too much shame and too much judgment, seeing ourselves as we are, there's too much at stake and it becomes arduous. But if we can release that, and there are ways of doing that, and including just hearing my words, which is like, oh yeah, I don't have to do this to myself. We start to be able to see ourselves just as we are, without judgment, and then we can start to do anything. There's nothing we can't do if we're willing to go there in ourselves. There's nothing that can't be healed, nothing that can't be liberated and healed.
Wow. Does it matter, like, I imagine that there's different levels of shame that people carry, and some carry heavier burdens of shame than others, and then the process could go in very different ways.
Yeah, and it might involve acknowledging our wrongs. If the shame there's inner shame, I'm ashamed at myself, and then there's shame at my actions and my words, and no matter where our shame lies in our being, self-forgiveness, apology to ourselves, to others, whether it's through visualizing it or writing it or speaking with people who we feel we've wronged, we can liberate our shame and become free, no matter what it is. And taking ownership sometimes when it comes to actions that we're ashamed of. There's a methodology for taking ownership for what I've done and apologizing, not just saying I'm sorry. There's a kind of a deep and soulful and whole way of actually liberating the feeling of shame.
Right. I think you can meet different people who, when they take ownership over what they did, it brings you closer. And then there are other people who you get a sense that they might be saying I'm sorry because they want the interaction to kind of end, but they don't necessarily have a grasp, and that those are two different ways of when you encounter the word sorry.
Yeah. But it does lead to either closure of the incident, of what happened, or closure of and like closure of a relationship.
Yeah.
And closure is key. The key is to be at peace with ourselves, and so apology and forgiveness are key when we're ready and in the way that is wholesome for us. We can't forsake ourselves or give our power away or allow someone to continue to step on our boundaries or abuse us. So apology has to be from the depths of the heart and soul, and forgiveness, it's not a whimsical thing.